Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's Main Event. Drop kick now.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. There was a delay there. Did you guys pick up on that? Boy, I'm like very red right now. We need to do something about this lighting. Yeah, apologies for lighting. Oh, Lordy. Am I having signal issues? How do we look out there, kids? I didn't do my usual, hey, what's up? Well, I kind of did, but I didn't like take off with it. As I'm listening to the intro theme, it seemed to skip suddenly. So I'm not really sure what happened. Lots of funky stuff happening here today. But you know what? Let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. Because, buddy, that would suck, right? We don't want that. Let me adjust my fade just a bit. And I don't mean this. I mean on the screen. How's everybody doing out there, kids? Great to see you. Welcome to Tom Clark's Main Event. I'm Tom. I'm your host. This here little podcast has been going strong since 2014. We appreciate you tuning in with us today. And I even dressed up for you. I put on a shirt. Like I don't ever have a shirt. But I'm rocking Zeppelin beneath. So you know I do my thing. Got to represent. We've got some folks coming in right now. We appreciate you very much. If you will, kids, share this on your feed wherever you can. Please hit the smash the like button. We'll get it. And share it on all your socials. It'd be much appreciated. Tell your friends. Heck, tell your enemies. Tell everybody that wants to know. And we got lots to talk about here today. We got a hard out at about 4:45, 4:50. So everybody just be patient. And hopefully we'll get some more folks in here today into the chat watching the show. It is a Friday. People is ready to start their weekend. Yeah. So, but it's okay, man. It's going to be fine. We will get through it. We always do. Get through it sounded bad. I didn't mean it the way it sounded. Before we move any farther here today, kids, let's say hello. You know him from Tom Clark's 6M podcast. You know him from Tom Clark's Main Event, but you also know him from Peaches and Powerbombs Tailgate Party. Please welcome to the stage a friend of the show, regular co-host extraordinaire. It's Friday. I got nothing. I'm working on like 4 hours sleep right now So bear with me. Let's just get him on stage before I blow it up any worse. Ray All Day's here. What's up, Ray?
What's up, brother? What's up? How you doing?
Well, I'm kicking, but that's about all I got.
Yeah. And I want to wish you a extremely happy birthday, brother. Happy
birthday. You, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So one leg Lisa in the back dancing, man, telling you, she's amazing.
You notice how her name changes every time?
Every time it changes.
I don't know what it was, but yeah. Well, you know, she goes with the flow.
She goes with the flow, but
you know what I mean?
Choreography is insane.
You know Dave Attell?
Yes.
I love Dave Attell.
Love Dave Attell.
He's got a great bit where he's like, you know who you ask directions where to get around town? You ask the guy with one leg, because he knows the easiest way to get everywhere in town. You know what I mean? That's a great
one-liner. I like it. Very true.
Yeah. Let's say hello here, kids. Josh is here. What's going on? Josh says, when am I going to be a guest host? Oh. Josh, is you a podcaster? Because if you is not, we'll have to talk. Because maybe I'll be the guy to make you one. Fair warning, Josh, if I make you a podcaster, you're kind of going to be stuck. Ray will tell you. Once you start.
You just can't stop.
You just can't stop. I started in 2014. God, I ain't took a break yet. Yeah. JP saying hello.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
All day. And thank you, JP. I appreciate you. All right, kids, as people continue to file in here today, I don't have a huge agenda for us today, Ray. So this is the 4th edition of Open Floor Friday. If you think that it's just a clever way for me to not have to do any work to prep, shame on you. You're not wrong. But how dare you? Right?
The nerve.
This is evergreen content. By the way, I just saw a headline. WB broadcaster Megan Morant welcomes first child into the world.
Oh, okay.
But It's just the way it's phrased. Welcomes first child into the world. Where else did we think that she welcomed the child in at? I don't know. You ever read stuff and just do a double take? I really did a serious double take. By the way, congratulations, Miss Morant.
Yes, congratulations. Is she allowed to take a day off, or does she have to work through the pregnancy?
Who knows?
Okay.
See those people like, and not like her that are making serious money, but people like us who are making like, and like working in like retail and stuff, and like they just keep working, and then like they're back at work 2 weeks after they give birth, and I'm like, and they work all the way up until the moment of giving birth because they can't make enough to not work. Like,
exactly.
We're doing so many things wrong here, man. Like, we don't have to get into it, but man,
wow,
a man can't get time off for his wife having a baby. What are we doing?
It's nuts.
Anyway, I'll stop. Let's start off with John Cena.
Yes.
And I know you probably don't watch WWE full time, but you know enough to know what's going on. Give me your honest take on what's happening with John. Or, I mean, is it working is it too early to tell if it's working? You tell me what you think.
In my opinion, it's early, but I did like the angle he took. You know, he didn't go full blast. I hate the fans. I've hated you all this time type of thing. He played the victim game really well.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that angle. You know, I really thought he was going to just come in and say, you know, I've been using you guys. I've never liked you guys. Like, he catered more of like, hey, I tried my best. You guys kept turning on me. I tried my best. You just were never happy. So that was unique. I don't know how long it's going to last. And I'll see him going out like this at the very end, but we shall see. But it was pretty decent for the first run. I wasn't disappointed. It wasn't horrific.
Yeah, the fact that he came out with the same gear, and I'm like, okay, that's different, because like it's always, well, when you turn heel, you get new music and new gear, and he's like, I'm not changing, nothing wrong with me. Y'all is what's wrong, not me. Like, I'm okay with that. You know, Ray, do we truly believe he's going to stand up? Evidently, this is indeed his last year. He's not going to go out as a heel in December of this year, is he? Is that going to happen?
I don't see it. I just can't see it.
I mean, there's time, but
in time, I mean, he'll hold this for a little while, but comes down to the mighty buck, dude. He generates too much money. Make-A-Wish kids, you can't have him healing out at the very end. He's got to, at some point, flip again and apologize and the whole spiel. But I don't see this being the end of Cena going out like that. I just don't see it. Not for anything else, just for financial purposes for WWE.
Well, you know, there were still kids in the front row wearing his merch.
Yes, that's true.
The new shirt, everything. I'm like, y'all know he just turned heel, right? I mean, it's fine. Did he say anything in that promo that he can't come back from, in your opinion?
That's a tough one. No, because like I said, he played it more like, I did everything for you. I tried. I won matches and loved you guys and tried to keep winning. And you guys kept supporting me when I was winning. And then you turned on me. So like I said, he really hamped up the victim role to a T. He got a 10 for the victim game. But he didn't say anything about, you know, I hate these kids. When I see you make a wish, I find it disgusting. He didn't go to a dark place like that.
Yeah.
So thank God, you know, they didn't say anything like, you know, horrific like that. So he didn't bury himself enough where I don't think he could pull out of this hole, so to speak.
I suddenly want to see a new Cena shirt that says "Forget them kids" on the front of it. Dark. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was going to change his whole persona too. Like, I thought he was going to wear a different outfit.
Well, you know, AI is crap. And AI was spitting out pictures for the past 3 weeks of Cena in a suit and a beard and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is his new look. I'm like, whoever's clicking on this stuff, believing it, good God, do your research, kids. Please, Google it, for goodness sake.
I don't think anybody could grow a beard in 3 days like that.
Well, it's just...
And his hair was super long. I saw the picture.
Yeah, right.
Ridiculous. I was like,
yeah,
on, dude.
Come on.
This is unrealistic.
What's up, Marie? Sad about the retirement of Homicide. He had a good run. He had a really good run. And Guy has been, just absolutely been innovator to a large degree. Inspired a lot of guys along the way, man.
Yeah, I saw that match on YouTube. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, nice. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Nice way to go out. Him and Santana hugging at the end was beautiful.
Nice. I wonder what his plans are. If he sees a future for himself in the business somewhere, because I'd have him in my locker room. I'd have him involved to some degree.
Yeah, he knows the business. Yeah, why
Mhm.
wouldn't you have him as a writer or a producer or something?
Something.
You got to give him something. Yeah,
Road agent. I mean, anything like that. I
Anything.
think would be good. Yeah.
definitely adds value. He's definitely a locker room guy. But you
I
think
mean,
Cena can't bail out of this?
What's that?
You think Cena can bail out of this or no?
I never say never about anything. And I think that in terms of Cena, like, we'll see what happens. He said what he could have said 10 years ago, but they didn't let him say it. And supposedly, if you believe anything that I think he said this, that there was a plan to turn him heel at one time. They had gear made for him, new music and everything, and then they just decided not to do it. And I forget how long ago that was.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Brianne, thank you very much. Good to see you. By the way, kids, it's open floor Friday. That means the door is wide open. At least as long as it's pro wrestling / pop culture stuff. Let's don't get political here, because y'all may not want to know what I got to say.
You don't want to hear my answers. Please don't.
This means you, E. He says the shock mask. Look at that. He's just trying to get a rise out of you.
He's just trying.
Don't feed the troll. E, I just called you a troll, brother. What do you think about
there
that?
you go. Tom's got my back, dude. So
It's my show. It's my show. And I don't have... It's my birthday. It's just the birthday show. It's a birthday edition of Tom Clark's
birthday.
Movie.
Happy birthday. Again.
Hey, man.
You deserve it, brother. So you say never. But you have like a little ...
In terms of Cena?
Yeah.
I think anything could happen. I find it funny that Rock wasn't involved at all.
Uh-huh.
And, we all, he's going to be the Rock's champion. Yeah, maybe not. Every time you think we got something figured out, we all end up being wrong. All the time.
All the time.
I kind of like that, honestly. Fernando says Vince kept getting in the way of turn. And you know what? I understand.
Yeah.
You don't kill your cash cow. That's a dumb move. Brianna says, I didn't like what Cena had to say on Raw Monday. Fernando says, should AW let Sting and Duck Luger? 100%.
100%.
No one else should do it. And look, Sting didn't burn any bridges. He didn't burn any bridges. Let's don't forget, they put Triple H over him. Come on. Like, he did everything he was asked to do and then some. Yeah. I'd say they owe him that. I think.
100%. And he didn't go out on a bad note.
He's trying to get back on my good side. Look at that number. I'll take it.
That's a nice of him. Okay.
What's up, Brienne? Let's see. Well, we don't need to spend all day on Cena. I just want to kind of get your thoughts. Again, kids, open floor Friday. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about it. Davey says, let's go Penta Ceramero. So, Ray, thoughts on his run in WWE? What do you think so far? And by the way, Phoenix is probably on his way, right?
Yeah, Phoenix is on his way. He's coming very, very soon. Penta's been amazing. They love him. He's getting over with the fans. I don't see how he beats Braun, because you don't want Braun to just go down like that, because I think Braun is going to be built up to be the champion at some point. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, if he ends up fighting Penta at WrestleMania and loses, it's not a good look for Braun, because Braun is like supposedly that guy. You know, he's like the Roman Reigns type, built, jacked, has decent mic skills. So I know that's a typical Vince guy. I know he's not there, but he's got that look. Penta's amazing, but I don't know. We shall see. But he's over. He's over. The fans love him.
They love him. They should. He worked hard to get there. Like anybody I read some posts over the weekend. And the posts were basically, he's got 3 moves and he's, it's tired and the catchphrase is tired. I'm like, are you guys watching the same thing I'm watching? Because people are screaming bloody murder for this guy. What do you mean he's not working? What? I don't know. People can be dumb. I think we've established
like AEW leftovers. AEW didn't want him. They let him just go. Like, you guys are nuts. I don't see it. I think he's amazing talent.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it.
I agree. I mean, I like Penta a lot. I think Phoenix should have been allowed to go when he wanted to go. A lot of the stuff that AEW continues to look like a vindictive company.
Amen.
And it's not a good look. And it's the optics. Optics, kids, are everything. Not just in pro wrestling, but in life. You know, optics are everything. Like, it doesn't matter what the truth is. It does matter, but it's the appearance of evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Fernando says, I was disappointed with Cena's promo. The because you, the fans, heel turn promo has been ever done. Could have been more creative about it if he wants to. I don't know what's left. I mean, honestly, if anybody in character could come out and say it's because of you people, it's kind of John, isn't it? Like,
100%.
He's had the most crap thrown at him through the years. He's winning, we hate you, boo. He's losing, we hate you, boo. It doesn't matter. Like, it's always the same with him. People hated him. Ray, it wasn't until the past couple of years that he got consistently cheered with no booing happening.
Yes. For a long stretch there, when he was champion, he was getting booed everywhere.
Oh.
He couldn't win for losing. Like, he was just getting hammered. So
yeah,
he definitely had that right. And I don't know what other angle he could approach. He could have done the Hogan thing and said, I've been faking this all this time, but then you can't come back from that. That's why I think they didn't go that route.
Well said. You can't come back from that. But, you know, guys have turned heel and then turned face before in that company many times.
100%.
But Cena's different. It's kind of like, you hated me for years and then you finally loved me. Now I'm going to turn. Well, the people that always booed him now have a reason to say, I told you. He's fake. He just took a quick payday to turn heel. Like, come on. I don't know. JP says, I think WWE is waiting for Penta to show up to make the Lucha Bros tag team champions. I'm here for that.
I'm totally here for that.
Gosh, how many tag titles would it make for those guys? They had AEW. They didn't have TNA, I don't think.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm trying to think if they... I'm sure they had titles in Mexico
Why did
together.
they let Penta out of his contract, but they made Ray Phoenix a prisoner? Do you have any inside information on that?
Well, remember, Phoenix was injured.
Uh-huh.
So it was like that he was getting paid to sit around and do nothing. So then when he got cleared, it's like, well, you can't go now.
You owe us back pay.
You owe us back time. Like,
oh, I gotcha.
And I can't really disagree with that. And I'm telling you, the problem with letting someone go who just wants to go and end their contract early, you're sending a message to your locker room that this is okay. Anybody wants to leave, you can. Like, and I don't agree with that. However, I'm always going to side with the talent every time. I'm not going to side with the billion-dollar company. It's not a good look.
I hear you. But I forgot he got injured. You're right.
Fernando says it's not fair that when WWE is vindictive about stuff almost all the time, it's just business. When AEW does it, it's about... I never said when WWE does it, it's business. I never said that. I don't know who you're talking to. Like, Fernando, have you watched my show for any extended period of time? Ray will tell you, I've railed against WWE for doing vindictive crap. They've done it for years.
Oh my God!
Remember when the Revival were there, or when when FTR was the Revival?
Oh my God! The shower thing? Oh my God!
And they're like, we want to go. You ain't gonna go anywhere. Sorry. And they kept them. They kept many people like Mustafa Ali. You ain't going anywhere. Like, and again, I get it. Like the whole. I'm not going to back down from what I said. Like, if you're in a contract, you can't just let people go. It's bad. It's not good.
But they didn't let FTR go out at least half blank decent. They made him look like poo. Like, really bad. Yeah, it was. That's vindictive. Like, it's one thing to have them, lose a couple of matches, but to like all those vignettes and you're making them look silly in the shower thing, like that was just, come on.
And, vindictive and holding grudges and making fun. I mean, we all remember what they did to Jim Ross. Mm-hmm. Like, you have enough of a case with what they did to JR to say, I'm never watching this company again. Like,
100%.
Dude, they humiliated him on live TV. When he was at home recuperating from an illness, they humiliated him on live TV. Yes. And if you've never checked out his books, they're awesome. But he tells a story about his wife, who has since passed on, crying, and his kids being upset and saying, why are they doing this to you? You've always been loyal. Why would he go this far? Because he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because it was total humor, and he thought total humor was hilarious.
That's all that matters. Yeah, just get a laugh.
By the way, kids, if you're keeping up with New Japan Cup, and It's over now. I'm still 3 shows behind. I'm determined to go back and look. Sakura Genesis is booked Saturday, April 5th. Sakura Genesis, your card, Katsui Mirashima versus Daki Nage, and I may have mispronounced her name. Yuya Uemura versus Sonata. That'd be a good match. World TV Championship, El Phantasmo defends against Great Khan. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shota Umino. I'm interested to see that. For sure.
Beast.
He is. Never, and it's his retirement. It's his farewell tour. Isn't it funny how he and John got the same year of farewell? Yeah.
I didn't know this was a retirement year, but okay.
Yeah, it's his last run. This is it. Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions. Sho Yujiro Takahashi and Ren Narita defend against Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, and Taji Ishimori. It's time. I just don't understand. You know, this whole offshoot with Evil and everything in New Japan. I don't know. I get it. They're supposed to be heels. You're supposed to hate them, but good heavens. I was telling Phil the other night, I said, I'm not mad at the guys in the stable at all. They're just doing what they're doing. But like, it's whoever's pushing this, it's too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too much.
Subscribe to New Japan, pay the money, and get it. I crossed over to the good side. It's worth every penny.
Yeah, it's great. What's the name of the stable? Why am I blanking on the name of the stable? House of Torture.
I was gonna say
House of Torture.
It's not House of Black. It's like House of
House of Torture.
House
Yeah.
of Torture.
Not a great gimmick, kids. Not a great gimmick.
Not really.
It never really has been, if we're being honest. Never Openweight champion Konosuke Takeshita defends against Ryohei Iwa. That is going to be freaking great. I'm going to tell you right now. That's going to be a great match. Well, Takeshita's in it.
Yeah, Takeshita.
And Iwa is fantastic, too. So, Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi defend IWGP Tag Team Championships against Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman. You assume Cobb and Newman aren't winning this because Cobb's headed to WWE.
Yeah, Cobb's the WWE guy now.
Yep. IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji defends against Evil. Please, Yoda, for goodness sake, bring down House of Torture. And then in your main event, IWGP World Champion Hiroki Goto defends against David Finlay. I love Goto. I love that he's finally getting his shot. The dude waited forever.
Forever.
Yeah. So I like that he's champ now. Very cool. He earned it for sure. He earned it. Fernando says AW did the right thing playing hardball with Phoenix. Him and Penta were negotiating with WWE while still on contract. Well, if you're right, if that's true, then yeah. Again, it's real hard for me, Ray, to side with the company unless the talent in question has done something egregious. I mean, heinous.
Like hardcore, really.
Yeah.
Like I got you.
It's hard for me, man. I can't.
But I feel like if you owe the work and they paid you to stay home, I mean, there's a gray area there. Like I can see why AEW would say, no, you know, hey, you owe us 30 days or 60 days, whatever the case may be. I do understand it. Do I see the other side of it and saying, all right, you know, let's part amicably and it is what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I see both sides of that. I understand it. I don't think AEW is horrific for doing that. It wasn't like they said embarrassed him on live TV or buried him the last 30 days of his contract.
Right. As the other company will do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Watch those videos of FTR and WWE at the very end.
Well, it's not just them. It's a lot of other people that did that stuff too. You know, like they had Nia Jax making a fool out of Ambrose.
Yes.
Remember? It's making a fool out of him.
Making a fool out of him.
And when he was on Jericho's pod, when he first came back as John Moxley, it's like you could just hear the frustration in his voice. And he was talking about the stuff they wanted him to say on the air about Roman's cancer.
Yes.
And he's like, he tells Jericho on the podcast, by the way, go back and find it. It's awesome. He tells Jericho on the podcast, he says, I'll tell you off the air. I'm not going to tell you on the air. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
That they want him to come out on live TV and say about Roman. He's like, this guy's a friend. He's one of my best friends. Yeah, I can't do this. And he flat out refused to do it.
Wow.
Good for him. Yeah. This whole time I didn't put my logo up there. Bam, look at that. Yeah, so we'll see. What else is going on here, kids? WWE's considering Kamala for a Hall of Fame induction.
What
do you think
of him, right?
Look, I think it's about time.
Yeah, it's about time.
Why not?
Yeah. He did everything WWE wanted him to do.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see what the problem is.
Expected to join Triple H, Lex Luger, and others in this year's class. I have a prediction. I think Luger will walk out on his own power to that podium.
I'd be thrilled. He looks great, by the way.
He does. He's working with DDP too to try to get himself into some kind of so he can maneuver around. Gotta say, I'm a little surprised they put Lex in, considering the Miss Elizabeth thing.
Yes, right? I'm very surprised.
It's all. I mean, I don't know what culpability he had in that. I'll have to go back and read up on it. It's been a while since I've looked into it, but I don't know that he had any culpability in her death. I mean, it was drug overdose with Elizabeth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was drug overdose, but she was hard into that phase before she met Lex, I think. Like she had gotten to that when she was with Randy towards the end, and I don't know. At the end of the day, you can't completely 100% put the blame on him. I agree. He contributed to it probably. He probably, brought stuff to her and did stuff with her, but
yeah,
I think she would have found a way to do it on herself. An addict's an addict. It's a sad thing.
Well, and for anybody out there that wants to sling mud at addicts and talk about people just don't understand how brain chemistry works. Once drugs get in your system, your brain is rewired from that point on. So all common sense, all the stuff that we say as regularly functioning people, it's out the door. Your brain, the pathways in your brain find different avenues to go down, and your thought processes are affected. And drug withdrawals are, your body believes it's dying. And so when the body believes it's dying, your brain is being told you're dying. This is going to kill you. So that's when everything kicks in and it becomes, it's fight or flight. I have to get my hands on something. I got to do this. The reality is, yeah, you'd be hurting for a while, but probably won't kill you. I guess it depends on the case, but your brain does not, you can't grasp that. You know what I mean?
You just have to have it because, you go through these crazy withdrawals. I've heard crazy stories.
For sure. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate you. Fernando says you can't put the blame on Lex about a drug overdose. It's on the person doing the drugs they OD on. I agree with that to a certain extent. But if you brought someone drugs and they did them and died, you have had a hand in it. It doesn't mean that you forced them to take them. You're right about that. But had they not overdosed that day, had it not been for what you handed them, I'm no lawyer, but that to me suggests, and again, I'm not saying anything about Lex Ray at all.
100%.
I'm ignorant on that, and I'll be honest and say I'm ignorant on that, But
you have a valid argument. Like I said, would she have gotten the drugs herself? Probably. So I can't say that, Lex is completely guilty. He didn't help that he bought it to her. So I'm agreeing with you on that. Like he contributed to it, but I don't think he was the sole, blame. You can't put 100% on him. It's just not fair. No.
And it was, in 2003, the domestic dispute happened when he allegedly struck her. And then she passed on May 1st, 2003, mixing hydrocodone and Xanax with vodka.
Ugh.
So apparently it was hopefully not intentional. It's just something she did. But Luger's home was searched for illicit controlled substances, including anabolic steroids, oxycodone, synthetic growth hormone, testosterone, and Xanax. He was charged with 14 felony counts of drug possession.
Ooh.
He was released on the following day on $27,500 bail. Her death was ruled accidental. And look, her death was ruled accidental. That should probably be the end of the conversation. But I'm sure he's gone through this for years since she left. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Crazy. And again, kids, not trying to throw any shade here. I like Lex. I like that. It seems like a good, comeback story for sure.
1,000%.
Ray, this Bloodsport 8 shaping up to be something. Now Karrion Kross is going to be participating in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's already appeared twice. He beat Nick Gage in Bloodsport, and he lost to Davey Boy Smith Jr. in another Bloodsport. Natalia and Pete Dunne are also involved. No other matches have been confirmed, but Zack Sabre Jr., Miyu Yamashita, Micah,
Love Zack
Konami,
Sabre.
yeah, Jonathan Gresham, Tom Lawler, Timothy Thatcher, shut up, and Gabe Kidd are among these 6. Gabe Kidd at Bloodsport.
Speaking of blood, you're going to talk about Mox in the coat match?
That was painful to watch, buddy.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was painful to watch. By the way, the Bloodsport show is April 17th. Them pulling those nails out of his back and the skin pulling with the nails.
Oh, that was wow.
Hard to look at.
Very hard to look at.
Hard to look at. Yeah. I mean, I said to Phil the other night, we were watching it after we got done recording the 6M. And I told him, I said, I imagine John Moxley gets a tetanus shot at least once a month. You know what I mean? Like,
He has to.
don't have a choice. He calls Doc up. Oh, is this John? Oh, yeah, tetanus? Oh, yeah, come on in. Yeah, give him a tetanus shot.
He's got to.
I just think he's trying to out-funk Funk. I really do think he's trying to do that.
I don't know. But that was one of the most gruesome things I've ever seen in wrestling. That was wow. Like that,
Dude.
I was tapping out when he got hit.
tough.
I was like, wow. That
was
looks
talk-
just awesome.
I was talking
I mean,
to Chris
first-
Patton earlier, and he was like, I don't understand what they're doing. They're giving away a main event like that. They're doing it's not even the main event of the show. And it's like, you know, why are we still doing this blood and guts stuff? And I'm like, can't answer those questions, man.
Yeah, why wasn't that the main event? That's so
don't know.
weird too.
They went live at 9:00, and I told Phil, I was like, why is this going live at 9:00? I don't get this.
Yeah, it made no sense. Because you're already assuming he's going to lose now.
Yeah. Do you think Cope and Christian are getting back together to feud with FTR? I think maybe they'll put them back together, but they're going to have to maybe convince that crowd that Christian's worth saving. And it looks like FTR is turning heel. Well, at least Dak's turning heel.
Yeah.
JP says, do you think the deal between TNA and WWE is pushing people to sign with AEW rather than leaving TNA and going to WWE or vice versa? In my opinion, Ray, I think a lot of this deal has to do with WWE thinking, hey, if we can do a deal with you and take your talent, we can do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything that doesn't benefit them.
Yeah. If it
You
doesn't
know.
benefit them, they're not going to do it.
No. And, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all this will be fine. But I'd foresee a day when, you know, half of TNA's locker room's gone. It may not be anytime soon, but I'm just saying as a whole, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray, despite what people say about AEW, the struggling with the booking, which it's the true story on that, it's still a legitimate place to go where you can get on national TV. You can get a steady paycheck. You're still in the game. You know, it's a different jersey, but you're still in the game. And it's like, I don't think anybody should sneeze at AEW. Are there problems? Of course there are. But it's not just about working for them. It's about keeping yourself visible. That's the problem, is when you leave a big company and you don't immediately sign with another one, out of sight, out of mind for a lot of fans, right?
Very true. And I feel like AEW's, they've got the financial backing. So you're not going to get some measly paycheck. They pay pretty well from what I've heard. So those guys are doing well financially. They're on a major streaming network now. So I know that money's coming in, because Amazon Prime is nothing to sneeze at. So kudos to them. And yeah, they're still, in my opinion, still a major league team. They may not be WWE, but they're not like some farm team out in, you know, the west tip of Alabama or something. You know what I mean? They're there. AEW is legit.
They are. Historically speaking, they may not be the Lakers, but they might be the Clippers.
Exactly.
Like at any given time, the Clippers have a really good team, but they can't quite.
Can't get there. That's a great analogy.
I don't know if it is.
But
It might be a great analogy for 10 years ago. I don't know if it is now. I don't watch NBA much.
no, the Clippers are still decent. They're not the Lakers since
Right.
Luka came there, but they're yeah, it's a great analogy. Still an NBA team. They still draw a crowd.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Still got money.
Exactly.
AW got
Pockets. Pockets
Bank.
of money.
They got bank. Kids, before we do anything else, do me a favor. Take a quick second while you're sharing the show wherever you are and watch this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's main event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
I just bumped the mic.
Yeah,
Bam!
yeah.
Didn't mean to. I don't
Still waiting
think
for
it-
this, Rocky. Still waiting.
Still waiting. Well, you know what they say. I don't know what they say, but we'll do it eventually. I got nothing. My
When they
days
say when
just
you're waiting. You're waiting.
my days just melt away, man. I don't even know what day it is half the time. Well, that's not true. It's not that bad. But Fernando says, why do I think WWE will not induct Demolition? Both of them retired when Triple H won his very first WWE World Championship. I don't know what that would. Is there scuttlebutt that has something to do with that or no?
Yeah, for some reason, Demolition's kind of on the X list. I don't know why. So I'd be telling you BS if I said, oh, it's because of this. I don't know. For some reason, they're on the outs with WWE. I don't know specifically why.
And hey, Fernando, the fact is we may not know. It could be something that nobody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, Barry Darso and Bill Eadie definitely put their time in.
Yeah.
And Demolition became a very good tag team. But there are no Road Warriors. Okay.
Yeah. Not even close.
And I remember seeing, was it the Road Warrior DVD where they interviewed the guys? And Darso says, do I think Demolition was rip off the Road Warriors? No. And then he starts explaining why. I'm like, dude, shut up. Shut up, dude. Like, I liked Barry when he was Crusher Khrushchev. I'm not a fan of the guy, but like, come on.
Like, stop.
I don't know who you're fooling. I mean, they convinced him to do the Repo Man gimmick. Think about that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That was awful.
Run around like the Hamburglar, dress up like the Hamburglar, trying to steal cars. Oh, what are you doing?
That was pretty bad. I
Jesus.
forgot about Repo Man. That was awful.
Well, you're welcome for me bringing that back up to you.
Oh my God. He was dressed like the Hamburglar. Had the gloves and everything.
God, freaking terrible.
Wow.
Back when there was a WWE gimmick machine. They just punched some buttons in and spit out a gimmick for you.
Made Bill Irwin a hockey player.
Kind of like that NXT name generator. Who is generating the names at NXT?
Oh my God. The names are just
Terrible.
awful.
Nowhere on the planet. Tegan Knox. Let me ask you a question. Is any of that part of her real name? If
Zero.
it is, I will bite my tongue.
I don't know any girls in my life named Tegan. If there is one, God bless you. I don't know
Re-
anybody.
Chrissy T? Does that sound right?
Yeah, but her first name is Chrissy. Do you know a
Chrissy Teigen. Yeah.
Do you know a girl whose first name is Tegan? I don't. I'm sure there's someone out there, but that's just awful.
Tegan Knox is actually Stephanie Newell.
Tegan Knox. And
Terrible.
what's his name with the beard that's all lined up, all spazzy? The cup guy. What's his name? Oh God, Pillman's son.
Oh, well, you know, people.
Spike Rex, Barky Dog, something like that.
Yeah, that's it. People tried to come at me on my own show about his name because they're talking about, well, he picked that name. It's part of his mother's maiden name and then something else. And I'm like, all right, okay, fine. I don't know. Whatever, man. Fernando says, what's your favorite Lex match? Moving on. All due respect. I just, Lex got better, Ray, as he went, but Barry Windham tells stories of feeling like he was going to get killed one night and him having to tell Lex, stop, slow down, listen. Like, yeah, I think it might have been when that Horseman DVD they had where Barry was blunt about Lex's shortcomings in the ring. Like, oof.
Oof.
Tough.
Yeah, he
man.
was brutal.
Tough. Yeah.
Definitely not a multi-dimensional wrestler.
Well, Dusty saw him in Florida and they had to have him, right? So he comes to work for Crockett and all they saw was that body and said, Lord God, look at this guy.
Yeah.
To Lex's credit, Lex was maybe not the first, maybe the first wrestler to get an agent.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
the boys in the locker room were like, "Hey, what are you?" And he's like, "I'm gonna get someone to look out for my best interest. I'm not gonna let anybody screw me."
Okay.
Like, he came at it from a business perspective. JP says Duke the Dumpster Drose. God,
Oh,
terrible.
terrible.
That was back in the days where they all had to have an occupation.
Yeah. I said Bill Irwin was a hockey player. What was he called? The Goon?
The Goon. Him and his brother, Steve and Bill Irwin, were the Long Riders in the AWA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had lawn dusters and the black hats and the cowboy bell or the boots and the bell and everything, you know.
And then became an NHL player out of nowhere.
Goon. Jeez. Wasn't he something else? Didn't they give him something else to do?
Not that I remember.
Seemed like there was
I
something
remember
else.
the Goon. I remember the Berserker.
That was John Nord the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dude that had the worms in his mouth.
Yeah, the Boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
Yeah. Update on Chris Bay, kids. Chris is recovering. Great news for Chris. And he spoke to Chris Van Vliet for an hour and a half. Said he felt mentally amazing and he's unbeatable. And he talked about the injury and they asked him about possibly coming back. And he said, never say never. But, we'll see. Ray, guys who are in amazing physical shape and are athletes tend to heal a lot faster than the rest of us. So I'd love to see the guy back in the ring. But the most important thing right now at this moment in time is his health.
100%.
Yeah.
I would love to see him back in the ring because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But his health is most important more than anything. So, yeah, I want him to be 100% if he's going to ever pursue this again.
For sure. Fernando says Lex was hated from some talent for having an agent. Can you believe it? I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because an agent's not in the business. And in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s, you weren't in the business unless you were in the business. And any outsiders were looked at to be outsiders. And I'm sure that was some of it. Maybe the rest of it was jealousy. Maybe some of it was that doesn't belong here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie says, remember WWE brought us Doink the Clown and the Oddities. I'll say something about the Oddities. It wasn't a great gimmick. However, they were over. They were very popular when they had them together.
Yeah.
And it depends on what version of Doink the Clown you're talking about. If you're talking about Matt Bourne as Doink the Clown, the original Doink the Clown, when he took the character heel, that was some good stuff. Fernando says, Sting can and duct Lex, it should be DDP, right? Yeah.
Okay. DDP saved his life, so yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably make a lot of sense, I think. It's got to be Sting.
Yeah, it's gotta be Sting. I don't know why. Why wouldn't it be? Like, I don't know if he's blacklisted in WWE.
No. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't imagine why. Saraya says the end of her wrestling career is coming very soon. I have mixed feelings on this. This is what she told Sports Illustrated. She said, I'm letting people beat me left, right, and center. I was on a losing streak. Just wanted people to get the rub. I want to uplift everybody. I'm not going to be in wrestling forever. I'm coming to the end of it, and it's very soon. And I don't want to go out being like I need to be on top. I mean, I got thoughts on it. I've never disliked her. But, there have been moments in time when, I don't know. We have to get deep in the weeds on it. What's your opinion of Saraya overall?
I'm indifferent. I don't like her. I don't dislike her. If she's really trying to help some of the new talent, I've heard through the grapevine she's trying to do a program with Hallie Cameron to get her over, which would be huge for her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if she's genuinely looking to help some of the up and comers who are really trying to build a brand for themselves, yeah, great for her. If she's doing this just to, look good and kind of like show the fans, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm doing this nice stuff. If she's doing it for that, then I'm not for it. It's like, are you doing it for the right reason? Or are you just doing it to show people that you're a good person and look at me type of thing? I don't know. I don't know where her heart's at.
It's so weird. They did all that stuff last year, and was it last year in England, or was it 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
They put
the belt on her like 2 years ago, right?
It's been 2 years. That's right. Remember her whole family came out?
Yep.
And we're all like, why's her family coming out? Like, because they let her have that. They let her have that moment in her hometown. I mean, it's fine. But like, I remember Joe, shout out Joe Higgins. Joe burned her up, boy.
Really?
But calling her family all kinds of names that you wouldn't even understand. You know what I mean? Joe's a very quick-witted guy, dude. And I told him the other day, I said, I tried to have a Joe moment of a quick and witty comeback, and I failed miserably. I said, I'm like Batman. If you give me time to prepare, I'll kick your teeth in. But otherwise, if you need me right now in the moment, I might struggle a little bit.
Are you a Saraya fan, or what's your thoughts on her?
You know, I run the podcast that tries not to be a jerk to anybody. Okay. I can only give you my true thoughts, and if people don't like them, they don't have to listen to them. But like, I don't come after anybody, and I don't know her, so maybe this isn't fair. But in terms of the way things have gone, to me, it kind of felt like at times that either she was overvaluing herself or they were undervaluing her, whoever the they was. And I may not be smart enough to know which is which, but it kind of always felt like that there wasn't a total agreement on what she should be doing and how important she was to the company, either company, honestly.
True.
There was something not right. By the way, we don't have to talk about Dynasty here, but what do you think about Mox and Swerve?
I am all for this. I love Swerve. Love to see him get that belt back. I don't know if it's going to happen, but he deserves it. That guy is probably as hot as you're going to get in wrestling right now. Fans love him. When I went to go see him in New York at UBS, I saw so many Swerve fans, so many signs. These guys love him. Like, if you're Tony Khan, you got to jump on. He's that guy right now. So I don't know why you would not put the belt on him, but talking to AEW, so who knows?
So I think I said going into Revolution, the time was right for Copeland, even though I couldn't understand other than Tony saying, I want my belt on Copeland. I couldn't really understand why you'd do it, but I also was thinking, God, it's time. Get the belt off John. But now I kind of really feel like if you're going to drop it, Swerve's the guy, right?
100%. He's got to be the guy. And Jay White, you had your small window to turn on Wednesday. You didn't, so forget it. Yeah. Now it's too late. Yeah. Like, this is turning into that, and I said this on Wednesday on the tailgate party. This is turning into an Adam Cole MJF thing where you're waiting for him to turn. He's not doing it. So to me, it's like, what are you going to wait till August for him to do it? Like, I don't know. He didn't even show up Wednesday night, Jeff. You're right. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, when you don't expect him to turn is when he'll turn. And you have to know that they know that. They know that people are waiting on Jay to turn, and Jay knows that too. So, like, don't do it yet.
What are you going to do it? Me and Maria have a song. It's on iTunes. It's called It's Now or Never. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what they're waiting for. Bro, like it's the perfect time. He could have done it Wednesday. The perfect time. And he didn't show up and did nothing. And I was like,
I mean, the perfect time is going to be when it means the most, when it's going to cost. And it could have cost Copeland Wednesday. You're right. Mm-hmm. But at this point, Copeland's not going to get another title shot. He shouldn't.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
John has choked him out twice, with the second time in a title match.
Like, that's it. Choked you out twice, dude. No controversy, no.
Yeah. Well, there was shenanigans, but there's always shenanigans.
At the end of the day, you got choked out.
Yeah. I mean, and that's them putting over John really strong, and I respect that because he's your champ, he's your guy. But at the same time, like, he can't be choking out Swerve, man. I don't know if that's a great idea.
No, it's not. Like I'm saying, this is Swerve's chance to get that belt back.
Fernandez says Swerve should win the championship and kill the Death Rider story once and for all. Tony has to pivot from Darby becoming champion. Pivot from Darby? I don't think he's got to pivot from Darby becoming champion. Look, Fernando, I don't know if you don't like Darby, but, and, you know, this goes for you too, co-host that hates Orange Cassidy. People can have their favorites all day long, and I get it. I totally get it. But in the grand scheme of things, for what that company wants, and in the microcosm of that little that pocket universe that's called AEW, Darby's a big deal. Now, he's 80 pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. I get it. But he has done a lot since he's been there, and they love him. Orange may not be your cup of tea. Cannot tell me that Orange isn't one of their guys. Like,
no question about it.
And again, in that little pocket universe called AEW, now you put Orange Cassidy in a WWE ring on a main event stage. Number one, I think the crowd would eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the kids in that crowd would be wearing sunglasses. They'd be selling them on WWE.com. I truly believe that. I do. I think he'd sell a ton of merch. And I think the gimmick lends itself to WWE haha routines.
True.
But would they play him as a legitimate world title contender? Now, I can't say a no at this point because I've been proven wrong by that company in the past year or so, several times, in terms of them.
Have you seen in WWE that you thought would never be champion?
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying, like, when Cody went back, the first thing I said was, good luck. And the second thing was, hey, I hope he gets paid more money he's ever got paid. I hope he got the best deal of his life. And I hope he's happy and I hope he's safe, because I say that for everybody. But the first thing out of my mouth was good luck. You know what they did to you last time you were there? I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
I admit it. I was dead wrong. I'm okay to say that.
But do you see Orange? I don't dislike him.
Yeah, you
do. I'm the opposite of like a lot.
Yeah.
But let me say this. Do you see him being a champion in WWE in any capacity? I just don't see it.
I think there's plenty of time, and I think they put belts on talent far less able than Orange Cassidy. Orange can work no matter what anybody wants to say. Yeah,
I never said he couldn't work. I 100% admit the guy works his behind off.
And I think that gimmick lends itself to, I can imagine Seth Rollins losing his mind because Orange is doing that kick thing, and Seth doing that little half scream like, is this a joke to you? I'll kill you, or whatever. I think it would work. I think Darby's shtick would work in WWE. I truly believe that. The company that put over Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship, yeah.
That's true. And he's like 87 pounds too. So you
I'm
got
saying,
a valid argument. Okay. I stand corrected.
Well, it's okay you have your opinion. You can disagree with me all day long. It's fine. I just, and again, in that pocket universe, I keep saying I'm a comic book guy, but like, put him in other companies, maybe the answer is different. Maybe it won't be the same thing. Who knows?
I hear you.
Marie says, I think he meant Darby being the one to take it from Moxley. I agree with that. Oh, that's fine. He can be champion, but he doesn't have to be the one to beat Moxley. No, but if he did, I think it'd work. I think it'd work fine because John is crazy, and Darby threw himself down a flight of stairs in that stadium show that night.
Oh, he would take those kneels to the back too. He's psycho like that.
Oh, I can't believe he hadn't done it yet. Maybe he has.
Yeah.
Brando says, why do you think the Jay versus Gunther story is losing traction week after week? Because he's beat him. Ray. Has he beat him once or twice? Is it just once?
Twice. Pinned him clean. Twice. Like, if you're going to build a champion, in my opinion, you don't have him lose clean twice. That's just me. If you would have, had it, what they still call it, a dirty pin when you have your foot on the ropes?
Sure.
Yeah, so he hasn't dirty pinned him once. He's pinning him clean, middle of the ring. Powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. So I'm like, I don't know. That's WWE booking right there. That's a mishap on their end, in my opinion. You want to build this guy up, like, have him lose controversially.
Yeah.
His feet's on the rope, used an object, something.
But Gunther doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, Gunther didn't do that. I wouldn't be surprised if he kept the belt. I honestly wouldn't.
It kind of feels like they're setting it up for Jay to win.
I don't know. I thought they were going to do that with Roman the first time with Cody, and look what happened. Don't be surprised. All the yeeters out there, and I love Jay. I would not be surprised if he lost.
I'm happy for Jay. Like,
yes,
he took a stupid word and got it over. And But at the end of the day, you know, like he's not, I don't know, man. Is it enough
Exactly.
to
I'm
make him
telling
world
you.
champion? Like, if it is great, and it feels like they're leading that way, but I don't know, man. Like, people compare this to the Yes movement and all that. I think it's different. I think it's, you know, Danielson was grinding for years before he ever got to WWE. Like, Jay is a WWE product, and that's fine. No problem.
Zero.
I don't think it's the same. You can talk, Sandy. Look at you joining real late. It's okay. Marie says, when will Darby be back? Because in my case, I'd like Eddie Kingston to be the one to beat Mox, but he won't be ready until July-ish. How long will people be able to put up with the Death Riders? People aren't putting up with it now, Marie, to your point. Everybody's saying it should be over pretty much. You know what I'd like to see, Ray? I'd like to see Eddie come back before maybe he's technically cleared and not wrestle, but come back with maybe 3 guys,
Okay.
maybe him and Darby and maybe a tag team, and they're in street clothes every time they're on TV with bats or something. And every time the Death Riders show up, they show up.
I'm there for it.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like every time the Death Riders go to cheat, there they come. And at some point it becomes, how do they always know where we are before we're there, right? I think that'd be fun.
I'm there for it.
Michael Jackson or Prince, Fernando says. Go ahead, Ray.
Prince, come on.
Prince.
That's easy.
Love Prince.
Love Prince.
So, you know, the Super Bowl halftime show, you know, of course, is a thing of beauty for Prince, but also him playing the George Harrison tribute when he does the guitar solo.
Unbelievable.
So I never knew the story behind that till this past week. Don't know how I didn't know this. So Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, as you know, told the story, and I can't remember where he told it, but Rolling Stone chose the 100 top guitarists of all time or something, and didn't include Prince. Wow. And he was irate.
I don't know how you can not include him.
And like a week or two after, he was on the George Harrison tribute show. So do the math.
Yeah.
That was a big middle finger to Rolling Stone saying, yeah, all right, I'm not on the list. Okay, I got it. Never knew that. I just thought he was just doing Prince stuff and he was amazing, but yeah.
Oof, Prince, wow.
Love him.
Saw him live twice. Amazing.
Oh, shut up. Really?
Yes. Saw him at Madison Square Garden, and I saw him in this place in New Jersey it was called the Meadowlands at the time.
Uh-huh.
The one at the Garden was unbelievable.
What year was the Garden?
Ooh, wow. Maybe 3 or 4 years before he died. Or maybe 5. But he did everything. All the Purple Rain stuff. He did all his stuff in his newer albums. He had Sheila E. do a drum thing. It was incredible. He's multi-talented guy. God rest his soul. Icon.
Yeah,
He's the
gone
man.
way too soon. I miss Prince.
Way too soon. Miss Prince a lot.
We did a 6M on Sly Lives on that doc about Sly and the Family Stone.
Stones, yeah.
It's great. If you haven't seen it, it's really awesome. And I said, you know, as we were reviewing the show, I missed Prince because Prince would have been on that doc. Like
100%.
You talk about heavily inspired. There's no Prince in the Revolution without Sly and the Family Stone.
No question.
Fernando says Ted Lasso or Coach. You cannot be serious.
You can't be serious. If
I did a
anybody's not
Ted
watched
Lasso show. I'm
you
just
haven't
saying.
watched Ted Lasso. Tom got me onto this show. He put the Ted Lasso drugs in me.
Yeah.
One of the best shows on cable.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Out of this world.
I've cried
Gotta
so many
watch it.
times watching Ted Lasso. It's insane.
Such
It's
a great show.
insane.
Insane. Every
season
show has momentum.
Yes.
It's not lags. It makes sense. There's not a stupid episode where they just do nothing. Like every show has build. Like kudos to the writers of Ted Lasso. Great show.
And season 4 is happening.
Can't wait.
We'll see what happens.
Coaching a girls team, right?
Yes. You know how many people hate that?
That's ridiculous.
You know what they're saying? It's going to be woke. Here's a message to all white men watching my show. Freaking shut up. Not everything is about you, okay? White men dominated entertainment for how many years? I think it's okay that minorities and females can have some roles. My God. What is this? Like,
why is that such a problem? I had
Because-
no problems with it. I was like, oh, cool, okay.
I love it. I think it's going to be great.
It's gonna be awesome. Like,
Kidding me?
Why is that a problem? People are weird.
And by the way, that's no hate at Craig T. Nelson on Coach. I love Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, but come on now.
He's
I'm talking
awesome.
about Ted Lasso, dude. Sorry.
Robbie, we're going to take this home, kids. Robbie, we may end with you. Bubba Ray says he wants to show up at All In Texas this summer and wants to help Tony Khan build storylines for the company. Do you think Tony will agree to it? You think Bubba can improve AEW? No, I do not. I don't think they need him.
No, that's a hard pass.
Bubba is all WWE. He'll never leave that company.
Yeah, and if he came there, he would just try to sabotage it, I think.
Well, I don't know about that, but Bubba makes himself out to be this wise old man in the room, and all due respect for his accomplishments, I get it. But, come on.
No.
He's throwing AEW. He's taking shots at AEW for years. He loves doing it. A lot of them love doing it. Well, Ray, I'm going to have to split, brother. Before we go, tell everybody out there where they can find you on the internets.
You could find me on the Instagram. You got to find me on the Facebook. You could catch my show with my partner in crime, Majestic Marie, on the Tailgate Party every Wednesday, 4:45. We sing, dance. We don't have dancers like Tom because our budget's still not there yet, but it's a funny show. You guys definitely should watch it. It's every Wednesday, 4:45. Do an AEW review.
There you go.
Thank you, guys.
Ray, thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate
Thank you, brother, and happy birthday. Have a happy, happy birthday, brother. You deserve it.
Thanks, man. Much love. I'll see you next time.
You got it, brother.
All right, kids. That was Ray all day. Y'all know him. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me today. I very much appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here because I got stuff to do. And I just want to say thanks to everybody out there. It's always fun coming live with you guys and hanging out, talking some wrestling. So do me a favor, kids. Go visit and bookmark boinkstudios.com, B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com, if you will, please and thank you. And please feel free to follow my other shows, Tom Clark 6 and Podcast, Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. And, of course, follow the main event wherever you get your podcasts. Much appreciated. Check out my writing on slashgear.com. I would much appreciate that as well. And, kids, we're going to be back here next week. Again, thanks as always for tuning in. Everybody have a great weekend, yeah? And we will see you next week. Don't miss us. Tom Clark's main event next week. That's it for us, kids. Thanks much. Have a great weekend, folks. See you next time.